Oh yeah, about the prompt. I can't speak for every man, but I don't really want much out my woman. Just easy to get along with. She faithful, got good attitude. I'm cool with that.
So what do
I
you
don't
mean by easy to get along with?
like
Break it
just
down.
somebody who just in general, like her attitude good, so she gonna be easy to get along with. Like it's just someone who friendly, humble, just a sweetheart. You feel me? That's pretty much it.
What type of woman do you have a hard time getting along with?
To be honest with you, just somebody, and it's not even just a woman. This is just people in general. Like somebody who real dominant and bossy. I have a very bad problem with people like that. Cause I'm not that way. I don't dominate and boss people around. So I don't like getting treated like that.
So do you generally think like a lot of women are like that?
Nah, I don't think a lot of them are like that. And if they are, it's probably a reason.
And what was the other things you said?
I said, faithful
And what else?
and I think I said good, humble or good attitude.
And what you mean by humble?
Just like cool, like we go out somewhere. She don't think she bigger than the program. You
What
feel
does
what
that
I'm
mean?
saying? There's not no bougie joint. Like we go to a restaurant, she not rude to the waitress or you feel me. She feel like she above people, just like a down to earth, humble woman.
Well, what happens if you be like, oh, you look good tonight? She like, I know.
I'm like, damn, babe, you know,
That wouldn't be a problem.
nah, cause she's not being like she's not putting nobody down. She just knows she's her, like she's that girl.
Hmm. And what's not wife material? What's some things that aren't considered wife material to you?
Just like a bad attitude, somebody who's sneaky, somebody who hard to get along with, selfish. It's a lot of things I can say.
So have you been married before?
No,
Why do you think you haven't been married before?
because I haven't pursued it.
You in like your 30s?
Yes, I'm 31.
Oh, you think you too young or whatever. You got children?
Nah, no children.
So what makes you husband material?
I don't think I am, honestly. I don't know if I am, for real, for real.
What do you think
I'm not even
husband
gonna hold
material?
you. Huh?
What do you consider what husband material?
Well, for me, I just try to be somebody who be fair. Take care of the house, take care of the bills, you feel what I'm saying? Protect, provide. Just I let my lady just come in and be safe and be herself. Like all that submission and do what I say. I'm not really a big believer in that shit.
So when you say, because I hear protect, provide all the time. If you can explain what your form of protection mean.
Really protection. Like if somebody try to hurt her or do something, it's up forever.
So you like to fight.
If I had to, yes, I try not to.
Is that it? Just physically, is somebody trying to harm you, the bodyguard?
Nah, yeah, that too. And also if she if just her safe haven. If she want to be vulnerable, like that protection is established, like she can do that too. I could keep all her secrets. I could be her therapist. I could be her counselor. Whatever she need me to be. You
Well,
need a
that's
prayer?
dysfunctional, not being her therapist. What you talking
No.
somebody to talk to you though?
Huh?
Somebody who like you should talk to though.
No, I don't need nobody I can talk to. I'm saying I could be that for her.
Oh, you repress.
Huh?
Repress.
What's that mean?
Meaning you hold stuff in.
Yeah. Is that bad? You can tell me if it's bad. I ain't sure, but I could like this conversation. Because nobody really asked me these questions before.
What do you think it's okay to hold everything in?
I mean, as a man, you can't say everything because you get judged for it.
Who won't judge you?
And most people don't care.
Who won't judge you?
Whoever might be listening, you know what I'm saying? You don't know for sure, but you just keep shit in just in case.
You worried about what people might think of you?
Nah, I just don't. I just know most people don't care for real. For real. I don't care what they think. I just know if I say something or if something on my heart, I'm responsible to take care of that. I don't rely on nobody to care, appreciate, concern, none of that.
So you like isolate yourself from people.
Yeah,
So you live in survival mode.
What is no? Because I isolate people? No, I
I
take
mean,
care of
humans are a
everything.
social species. Like we're meant to socialize.
You say who?
We're meant to socialize.
Now, what you say? We are a social species, or you say
Yeah,
women?
human beings,
Yeah,
Homo
we
sapiens.
we are, but like I'm not really like tripping off people. Like I'm okay with solitude. I've adjusted to that.
So if you okay with solitude and adjusted to it, is that why you probably won't ever get married?
I mean, I'm open to getting married. I ain't really pursued it though.
What about the provider thing? You pay all the bills.
Yes.
You make good money.
Yeah, I made decent money.
Send me some money. My cash app on the screen.
Oh Lord, how much you need, and why should I send it?
Send it when you can. You're a provider. I don't like. I feel like if I counted providers, provide.
Nah,
What you
I
mean?
provide for my lady. I don't have no lady to provide for though.
That's crazy.
I
So you're a
know.
traditional provider.
But did I say
Hey,
anything wrong
good
though?
evening. How are you? Thank you
Hold
so
on,
much
that
for
man
letting me
was
go.
talking, sir.
Nah,
Hold
he good.
up.
Let him go. I'm
Let
gonna
him
I'm gonna
finish.
hush my mic.
How you
Nah,
gonna come and interrupt, sir?
nah,
That's
he
Yeah,
good.
crazy.
I ain't trying
Let
to
him
get in
go.
between you and your money. Go ahead, secure the bag. I'm sorry.
Now
God,
let
he
him
ain't
go.
sending me no money, but you was rude, sir.
Rude? What'd you say?
Yes, you were
Rude?
very.
Why do you taught me that?
So what do you want?
Anyway, I'm sorry. Uh,
Are you in a
yeah,
call
wifey
center?
material. Oh no, my wife, who has the material, just called me. So I'm about to hop off anyway.
Hold
Yeah, but wifey material is pretty much
up. Why don't
not
you talk to
obedient.
her then? Hold up. Why you ignore her call then? That's your wife. Go ahead and talk to
Well,
her.
no, I was just waiting for her to call to get off this live. I was saying, yeah, everything that she has and you don't, pretty much it. You're probably
Hold
morbidly
up. Real
obese.
quick. Real
That might be
quick.
an issue.
But why you
Financial
coming? Hold
literacy is
up,
good, and
sir.
also learn how to cook. Have a good night.
That man ain't married. That man ain't married. That man said everything you not. He wanted to come up and neg me real quick. You ain't got no wife.
Yeah, I don't come into y'all spaces and try to like one up y'all nothing like that. I just try to see where y'all coming from for real, for
Why
real.
you think he do that? Why you think he just did that? What do you think
I
that
I
do to
can't
him?
I can't speak for him. I don't know. Maybe he trolling.
No, it's insecurity. A lot of men feel like they're supposed to be better than women, and they're very insecure about it. So he wanted to come up and get his rocks off real quick. He at work or something. What I was saying. So what makes you a provider then? If you never been married, how you know you're a provider?
No, that's
Just 'cause
that's my idea for if I get married. That's what I would do. Like I already have it planned out how I want to be.
hold on, so you're not marriage material, but you got it planned out how it would be. How would it
You
be?
said I'm not marriage material.
You the one who said you wasn't.
I say I don't know if I am or not.
So what's your tell me about your plan to be a provider?
You just protect and provide, take care of all the bills, the finances. That's me. I provide literally everything. Like wifey gonna be at home safe or eating Subway, comfortable. She good. I mean, if she wants to stay home, she don't have to. Like I'm not one of them. I don't force her to be in the house. But if she wants to stay home, she can.
You ever lived with a woman?
Huh?
Have you ever lived with a woman?
Yes.
How long were y'all living together?
Like a year.
And you paid all the bills?
Yeah.
What happened? Why ain't work out?
Well, I don't want ruffle no feathers. She a
You're not
great
watching
woman.
no feathers. She ain't here.
You're not gonna like this part. Are you a mother?
No, go ahead. We listen.
Well, that was part of why I called it off because I just didn't want to be a stepdad. But she a great woman. She was awesome. Like if it weren't for her having a kid and the things that I had experienced as being a stepdad, I would still be with her. I would have married her straight up.
Well, you do anything from the father?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Was he scary?
Nah, we both stood on business, but for the betterment of his kid, we just you know what I'm saying, we talked like men. We definitely both stood on business though. It wasn't no what's up, Slim, how you doing today? We both was hostile when we met each other.
What? Why?
That's just how men are.
But why? What was the hostility about?
Well, I mean, she left him, and you know, sometimes the baby father don't want to move on, and she got a new dude. You know how that go.
I mean, I don't know. So do you go ahead, East?
Girl, I had to come up here and say that this man looked like a dirty Q-tip. And he talking about some my wife. Go look. That man ain't got no wife. He come up here lying. He put the
Ooh, you
vi-
talking
he,
about me?
no, I'm not talking about you. He played a
Oh,
video game all day. Look at this thing. He on TikTok bragging about how many streamers he has on the internet and how many followers he has on YouTube.
oh, she
This
got
man
the
a
dude. That's
full
her. She got a picture of the dude. That's the dude you talking about in your picture.
this man is a full bona fide loser. Sir, grow a
Oh,
beard.
Who is that? That's the dude who called and tried to check you earlier.
Yeah.
you like a patient.
I can't laugh. I'm not that handsome myself, but I don't be trying to check women though.
That
That man
man look
look
like a patient. Like
he
he
look
on the
like
run.
he really do. He look like Walter White.
He one of them two people they still looking for.
I had to come up here and say that, but go, I'm gonna let y'all continue your convo.
I saw the picture like, oh god. What you was saying? You left
I
because of the
can't even.
kid. You left because of the baby father. You left because of the child.
Well, kind of both. I just didn't want to be no stepdad no more. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna be honest.
Do you plan on having children?
Yeah, one day.
So what didn't you like about being a stepdad
Cause
then?
I didn't want shit like I wasn't about to do that. I wasn't about to share a baby mother with somebody else. We couldn't even get along with his child. You feel me? And then there's things that there's other parameters in that relationship as well. I just didn't want to do that.
How you think that impacted the child?
Well, he was small at that time, so it didn't really impact him. But I know it impacted her. And I was, I communicated, made sure she had somewhere to go when I'm saying, when we broke up.
She
I
was
put some
staying with
money.
you?
Yeah,
You kicked her out?
I ain't really kick her out, but I made sure we broke up. So I made sure she
Where
had
she
somewhere
went to
to
live
go.
at?
She stayed with some of my peoples.
With your peoples.
Yeah, I had some friends that she could stay with.
Yeah. Hold on, what?
I had some friends that she could stay with when we broke up.
She went to with like multiple people?
Yeah, they was another couple that I was cool with, but we knew them.
She still there?
Nah, this was years ago.
That's crazy.
Why is it crazy though?
That's crazy. It just
What?
sound crazy.
How?
I don't know, something about it just sound crazy to me.
But you gotta know what it is, so I can kind of agree with you, because it probably is crazy. I just want to know what part you talking about.
I don't know. Somewhere for her to stay with some people, just crazy to me.
Nah, we had broke up. That's it.
So
And
otherwise the relationship was good.
yes, it was. It was perfect.
What was perfect about it?
Everything. Her personality. She was a sweetheart. Like we ain't bump heads. Like we even cool to this day. She married now, but we still cool to this day.
How you feel about her being married to somebody else?
I'm happy. What you mean? She deserve it. That's one woman I can say on earth, like a good black woman. Dominique is definitely one. She deserved that marriage.
You don't ever regret you don't ever regret not being together?
Nah, I don't. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't.
So what's your plan for your future?
Well, I'm winging it right now. Like specifically, what you mean?
I don't know, cause you say you don't know if you husband material, but you
Yeah,
with
I
somebody who's
don't.
wife material. So like she better off without you. So like what's your are you plan on being single since you're not sure?
Yeah, I can be. I have no problem with that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't have no problem being a single man with no kids forever. Like I'm okay with that. Cause you said earlier, with social people, and I told you that I'm okay with solitude. I mean that shit.
Like you're around people at work.
Yeah, sometimes.
Somebody must have hurt you, or something must have hurt you for not
Nah,
being
I'm not
around
hurt.
nobody.
What
Because
makes you
usually when
think
people
that?
don't want to be around people, they don't trust people.
Yeah, but I'm not hurt off no romantic shit.
I didn't say
I
we
might
something
be hurt.
romantic. I never said the word romantic.
But you
That's
said
all.
hurt though. I was just associating
Home is
that.
home. Trauma is trauma.
But I don't project my pain on people though. Like nobody would know unless I would talk to them about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You said that like you don't want to be around people, and you was talking about like opening up to people. You gotta be careful. You don't trust people. Something
Yeah.
happened. You feel like that.
Yeah, that's just like my upbringing for real, for real.
Do you go to like family events and stuff like that?
Yeah, sometimes I do.
So what's your view on men who like what type of things do you usually hear men say that is wife material that you agree or disagree with?
Man, you gonna be mad with me. I don't even want to answer that joint because I'm not trying to play with females as a whole.
Hold up
But
real
like,
quick, because I gotta be careful because I've learned that when men say females, they could be talking about any species. You
I'm
know we talking
sorry,
about
women. My bad. I meant to say women.
I'm just saying let's only talk about humans here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Women, human women. But some of the things I hear from other men, they really big on that body count.
That's stupid though.
I don't have no comment about it. I don't judge women off that joint. Just be honest about that shit. Like if you somebody who like to do
Why
your
would anybody
due,
be honest about their body count?
well, I mean, you can't. But sometimes, like God will reveal stuff to people.
How?
That's what happened to me.
What you mean? What
I
you
was, I was
mean?
about to, I was about to marry, I was about to marry me a HOE.
Hold on, you was about to get married before? You ain't say that.
Yeah, this was a later situation after what I had with the lady with the kid.
So it's somebody you really like?
I was in love with Shawty. I was super in love with her. Yeah, I wanted
And
to
what
marry her.
happened? Why you call her that?
Well, I mean, she been around, and while we was dealing with each other, she had snuck behind my back and was doing her little thing too.
Oh, you said doing her thing too, so you was doing your thing.
Nah, I wasn't doing my thing. She was already had been around. That's why I said too. She been around. I also was
So
behind
you
my
still
back doing
judge.
stuff. Huh?
If you say she been around, then you do judge based on what a woman already did.
No, I don't judge because she told me when she told me what she was doing, I was okay with it, but I didn't know she was still doing that joint. Like, I didn't know she was still acting up, like still sneaking around, meeting men and stuff.
Was y'all like official?
Nah, not yet.
So she wasn't doing nothing if y'all wasn't official.
Nah, she wasn't, but she wasn't. She was sneaky though. And it's like, yeah, well, guess we're not together, so you don't owe me that. But I'm like, damn,
Yeah,
if
but she
she
don't owe you that. So
she
if
don't.
you
But this
talking
the
about you
thing.
wanted to marry her, why not just make it official so y'all could have been a thing?
How am I going to marry her? She couldn't even get past the talking stage. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, she don't owe
Hold
me,
up.
but how she was
Why did you
acting,
say you was gonna marry her then?
because that's how I felt like I was in love with her before I found out what was going on.
How long was y'all together?
This was like 4 months.
4 months. So you was already
Yeah,
thinking about marriage?
yeah. It don't
So
take
you
10
called
years.
quick.
I know they be like it take 10 years. It don't take that long.
Who the fuck said it takes 10 years?
That's what the fellas be saying. We Jim Jones and all them. We be taking our time. Some of
Ten
them.
years is crazy.
But when you say 4 months, it's crazy too.
No, you let 4 months to be like, all right, I want to be in a relationship with somebody versus 4 months saying let's. I'm thinking about marriage is two different things.
Yeah, but I mean, the clock is different for different people.
But you ain't got no clock. You say you'll be single for the you got time.
I said I'm not chasing. I'm not actively seeking it. Like I'm not chasing marriage. If I'm alone, that's okay. But at that time, yeah, I already knew as soon as I met her, this the one. Well, at least I thought.
I mean, to be fair, it was only 4 months, so y'all weren't officially in a relationship.
Yeah, and the
So why
reason
so
why,
why do you just tell her that you wanted to be in if you was thinking about marriage, right?
yeah.
And y'all not official, so she dating around. Why you just tell her like, oh, I'm serious
Nah, she
about
wasn't.
you?
She wasn't dating around. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, whatever she was doing, y'all wasn't officially in a relationship. Why don't you just ask her if y'all could be in a relationship then?
How am I
You could have
gonna
been
be
like, I
in?
want to be exclusive.
How am I do that if we in a talking stage and she's still fucking with other people? Excuse my language.
Y'all just talking.
Yeah, but the thing is, as a man, like we not about to wife up a joint who's still getting busy out here. If you know what I'm saying, if that's what we had for our attention, if she's saying no, I'm not doing none, and then she lying about it, like okay, if I knew what you was doing when we was dealing with each other, that's up to me to decide. But
But
she
that's
was,
the thing. Y'all wasn't. It's weird because you say y'all wasn't even in a relationship.
yeah, because we couldn't get past the talking stage. This is when I found out she was doing her due, sneaking behind my back and doing shit.
You
But you
wasn't
said,
sneaking. Y'all wasn't in a relationship.
and that's why, and you keep saying I'm confused. I'm telling you why it didn't get nowhere past the talking stage.
So
She didn't
you
deserve
want
nothing
you
past that.
expected somebody that's just talking to you to not talk to other people.
Yeah, but don't lie about it though. That's my thing. That's where it came from. She dishonest about it. That's why I had to cut that joint loose. No hard feelings.
So that was your last relationship?
Well, sort of like that. Yeah.
When the last time you been in a relationship?
My last serious joint was with the lady with the kid. This was in 2000, what, 19?
Oh, so it's been a minute for you.
Yeah.
Hmm. So you
And it's
not on
okay.
dating sites or nothing like that?
Nah.
Your job, you work around a bunch of men.
Yeah, I'm a driver, so yeah.
You should just get you some roommates and like go ahead from there. You have
What's that?
friends?
How's that? What's that going to help?
You have friends?
Nah, I don't got no friends like that. I got people like I see right now and there.
So associates.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably can't be in a relationship.
Why not?
You don't like how you gonna be in a relationship? You don't even know how to like manage like friendships and stuff. You don't have no friendships, and then your relationships like you don't have a good
But
track record.
but friendship and relationship is different. And I was going to ask you. So the things that I said in the beginning about like providing, giving her safe space, was anything wrong with that? Because your comments was beefing with everything I said. I'm just kind of lost.
You feel like I've been beefing with everything?
No, your comments was beefing with the positive things I was saying.
How was it beefing? What are you talking about?
Because they said something. I'm scrolling. They acting lost, like they don't know what I'm talking about.
Are you talking about the people in the comments?
Yeah,
Oh,
they said
anybody can show up and get in the comments. What's up? Hold on, is that Black Jesus? Somebody told me Morpheus was Black Jesus.
Who? No, I'm not. I'm not Black
I
Jesus.
mute. Hold up, Morpheus. Mute up real quick. Um, or somebody else. I don't know. But no, I'm just saying. Here's the thing. It's not just like just because you don't have friendship don't mean you can't be in a relationship. But that's just the thing. You learn people skills. You learn how to like collaborate with people. You know how to like deal with conflict, like even in your friendship. So it's like you saying you want to do the protect provide stuff, but like you don't have relationship skills. You have to have relationships to build skills to be in a like functional relationship.
so. The example, just real quick. I'm gonna let the other person speak. So I just real quick, the dynamic I explained with my ex girlfriend. That's bad relationship skills.
Well, I'm saying you haven't had like a long term successful relationship, and then you don't have like friendship. So what I'm saying is, it sounds like you lack relationship skills. Period. Like it don't have. I know you think about a romantic relationship, but like even the if you're a loner, right? You got associates. You kind of talk to somebody you was in a relationship and it just didn't work out because of the child, whatever. You haven't had a chance to practice your social skills.
No, you right though. You right, Tara. I'm gonna mute
When
up.
you said, because you asked me, you was like, do I sound like I'm husband material? And I would say no, because you lack relationship skills, like social skills, executive functioning skills. That's something you have to actively work on before you try to be in a relationship.
Now
Or
you
you end up
right.
being toxic as hell in a relationship.
I'm gonna be toxic. You said.
Yeah, most
I just
definitely.
No, I ain't gonna
Because
argue. I disagree because
because
I'm actively
you
against
gonna
being
come to the
toxic.
relationship with expectations, but you haven't had time to like actually work through things with people. Period.
But what would make me toxic though, based on our conversation?
For example, like if you dealing with a conflict with somebody, right? If that's your friend, then y'all might have a I don't know how it might go, but eventually you're able to hash it out, you're able to compromise, right? But when you a loner, you spend all your time alone and you got like control over your environment, you're not gonna be it's gonna be harder for you to compromise with another person because you're gonna kind of be set in your ways. That's what happens when you live in isolation.
But
You
I
get
don't
to
ask for much though. I came out telling you I don't need much from my lady. I said humble, good attitude, and faithful. I don't mind compromising. But I hear you though. I'm taking you. I'm
Yeah, because
listening to you
it's
loud and
one
clear.
thing to say you don't mind doing it. It's another thing to say, "Oh, I got experience doing it." Because even like in your relationship, even though like you said it didn't work with the baby father, fine. The fact is, it's like y'all was bumping heads. You was like, "This relationship not gonna work. That's the
Nah, me and her
problem."
wasn't.
Yeah, but that's fine. But you haven't, based on what you said, you haven't had a scenario where you able to work through something where, like, all right, you was able to work, come up with some solution that worked for best of both of y'all and continue the relationship. You haven't had any experience like that.
Nah,
That's why,
it's
like, it's juvenile is relationships is in like its late teens, early 20s. They still give you options to develop relationship skills, social skills, learn how to like work things out with another person. If you don't have that experience, and like I say, you don't have in friendships, and you spend time all by yourself, it sound good on paper, but in real life, it's not executed effectively. That's why a lot of people they think it's a red flag when somebody ain't been married or in a serious relationship by a certain age.
oh, I don't gotta ever get in a relationship. I said that earlier. I'm cool with being single for life. But I'm gonna let what's his name? I'm gonna let the other person speak. I'm gonna mute up.
What's up, Slick? Damn, Morpheus ran off. That's crazy. Oh,
Hey,
y'all, Morpheus is Black Jesus, y'all. That man ran off. Go ahead, Slick.
uh, me personally, I would want a woman that respects her family, respects herself. Can cook. Is not
What that
like
mean by respect? What does that mean?
like she holds herself to a standard. She doesn't give up herself easily.
You being real vague. That's what I'm saying. Are you saying a standard like giving up herself? What are you talking about?
Like does isn't disrespectful to her family. Doesn't how most are like that type of black woman that
Hold on, you
isn't.
said most black women. You already
I
fucked up
said
there. That's crazy. No,
I said
Freudian
some.
slips. Hold up. Freudian slips are valid, sir.
Okay. I said some.
You didn't say something. You said most.
I said most, then I said some
Yeah, you
because
try to clean it up.
okay.
But go ahead. You got it.
But yeah, I would want her to hold herself to a standard. Doesn't doesn't isn't ran through. And it's
What
family.
does that mean? What does ran through mean? You
I have a
like
lot of
you?
bodies on her.
What's considered hella bodies? Yeah, are
You
you crumbling paper in the mic or something?
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you fine with just extra noise.
That's probably my air conditioner.
You gotta
But
face away from it. But go ahead. You got it.
I wouldn't want a girl that's like ran through for
What is
that.
that's what I'm saying? How old are you first of all? Like
I'm
what decade
18.
you in? Huh?
I'm 18.
You 18.
Yeah.
So you don't know shit about life. Come on now. What you mean by ran
Hey,
through?
hey, hey, baby brother, don't get one with kids neither. Start your own family.
No.
Start your own.
Let
I'm
that man
telling
be
you, I'm
great.
31. Start your own family, Slim.
I mean, I wouldn't like trust a girl who's been like doing it with a lot of people because that
That's
can
what I'm
lead
saying.
to
What's
stuff
considered a lot of people?
like six,
And
six.
how would you know? Unless you knew the people, how would you know?
I mean, I would trust her enough to tell me about like her past stuff.
You would ask a woman about her past experiences?
Yeah, if we planning to stay together, I tell you about me, you tell me about you. And it's like all to be trustworthy, you know.
I mean, technically, like a person past experiences don't mean somebody business. And I'm gonna be honest, that would be weird if somebody asked me that. Like, tell me about your past before you got to me. If didn't like volunteer that information,
I mean, yeah, I get you, but like I wouldn't want to, do it and then I end up catching something.
just use protection. Go get your mind charts updated and stuff. But the thing is, like, you can be with somebody who's been with one person and be with somebody who's been with 20 and still catch something from the person who's been one person, not the person that had 20. Like, with protection is more important than how many people the person been with.
Even if I get protection just to, even if I get protection just to a chance to get it, that's why, I wouldn't want to take that risk.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you think that just because this person been with one other person that you in the clear, that's not how they work.
I know that's what I'm saying. Even if she do that, she can get something, she can pass it to me. That would just mess up everything.
I'm gonna just say this, and then I'm gonna go to Ray Bay. I noticed that when I'm talking to y'all about like wife material, it's interesting. It's like it's very vague, very like general. Like it's nothing specific to yourself. Like nothing about personality, nothing about hobbies, nothing about
Well,
compatibility.
I was gonna
No,
go
no,
on, but
it's
you stopped
fine.
me there.
Oh, go ahead then. You got it.
I was gonna say like, isn't like bougie, that's someone that can just match me and have fun with me. Isn't, like Hosta Diddy. It's someone who like can actually have fun and express themselves without, having to go like to these nice, like fancy, expensive places, They
You
can
got
just
time with people who like fine dining.
no, like not at all. But like if she just want to do that all the time, like yeah,
What's considered all the time?
like every single day.
Who the hell go fine dining every single day?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
What
It be
about
people
once a
like that.
week?
Once a week. Yeah, I can do that.
So okay, so what you can afford is okay.
Yeah, if I'm not gonna take my girl out if I don't have any money.
What's up, Ray Bay?
Girl, what's up? Long time no see.
I've been here every day. I don't know why y'all keep saying that.
You ain't come across my page lately.
Oh, I'm on my backup. I'll follow you. Um, that's probably why. But go ahead.
Yeah, just using the young man's testimony before me, when these men are talking about when they're referring to women as wife material and you ask them to expand on exactly what wife material is, you either get two outcomes. They either have no idea what the hell they're talking about or what they actually want. They're just repeating things that they got off Red Pill podcast or heard their friends say or heard their older male family members say. Or they're trying to be vague on purpose because they don't want to admit that they're looking for a fantasy, that they intend on holding the woman that they find attractive, that's willing to give them a chance, to an impossible standard, while wanting those women, to accept them and parade and applaud them for doing the absolute bare minimum and being one of the most basic human beings that you could ever run into. Because if y'all were looking for a woman that is quote unquote wife material, y'all would be able to go in depth and give better answers. Y'all would be able to say, you know what, I want a woman that has a good personality. I want a woman that likes to travel, who's open minded, who likes to explore new things and new places and meet people, somebody who's personable, somebody who has goals that they're actively trying to reach. Y'all would be naming positive attributes in a person that you would want to compliment you as a person and the attributes that y'all have. But instead, y'all are describing pretty much situationships and then getting upset and twisted or acting confused when women point out that what you're describing is a situationship or you're describing a fantasy of a person that doesn't exist.
That's what I was. It's interesting. That's what I meant by the social skills. Like you learn that those are things you should be looking through by like trial and error with people. Period. But what do you think about like Skinny Toe Slick? don't mess with a woman with children. He didn't say, oh, I was in a relationship with somebody and we couldn't, it didn't work out because the
Nah,
other
I said
parent.
start your own family.
Hold that real quick. Instead of him explaining, I was in a relationship and the co-parenting situation was a bit toxic. These are maybe things you should look out for or whatever. He just said, don't mess with a woman with children. What do you think about
Oh,
that?
men do that all the time. They will hold other women accountable for shit that happened to them in the past and generalize all women underneath that one
I said
bad or that
start your own
handful of
family.
or that handful of experiences. They could have they'll act like every woman's a cheater just because their crush in the third grade kissed their best friends behind the swing set at recess. And then make that every other woman's problem. I also think it's funny as hell when men are always trying to be like, oh, when men use that kind of rhetoric and they're always like, oh, well, um don't get with a woman who has kids because you don't want to play stepdaddy or help raise them, but yet that's not the same standard that they hold other men to, because if a woman were to come up here and say, I don't want a man with a bunch of baby mamas and with a bunch of kids, then all of a sudden it would be an argument where, oh, you're too good to help a man when he's down to help a man raise his kid and start a family with them. Goes back into the point that I had stated earlier, that they want to hold women to standards that they would never hold themselves to.
Yeah, and I think
Damn.
honestly that becomes a thing with like just because you had some because that's I hear men say that to women a lot about like, oh, you must be hurt or going through something. But to tell somebody when there are people who are able to be in healthy co-parenting relationships, but to flat out tell somebody, oh, don't mess with nobody with their kids because of your bad experience, not knowing what that person
I
future
had a
is.
good experience though with
No, no,
my
no, no. That's not
single
what you
mom.
said to
She
him
was
though.
cool. She was tight. I was just saying start your own. I ain't say don't mess with one. Cause she could be
Hold up.
great.
You
I had a
just
good
told no,
woman
no,
with
no.
kids.
You just told Slick when he was explaining what his expectations are. You was like, "Don't mess with a woman with children." That's what you said.
If I cause I can't remember if I said that or not, but
You definitely said it.
if I did, I say this, brother, little brother, you can. I'm not gonna tell you as a man, don't do it, but I advise you to at least try for your goal, start your own family.
So you saying the same
That's
thing.
it.
But like I said, there are cases where he might find somebody who's a really good person that's compatible with him, and then he gonna like, oh damn, I remember the some like maybe she got children. That's maybe the other side factor against it. But that could have been a healthy relationship. But that's what I'm saying. Y'all say that women go off of their past hurt experiences, but y'all actually do that thing and y'all be projecting. What's up, Sage?
Hey,
Hey.
let's see. What do men mean when they refer to women as wife material? Um, it just means that someone who is legally binded to them, who is legally required to take their bullshit because they don't treat women no different. She's getting the same treatment that the girl who couldn't stand him after 3 months got. It's not like they have this Superman mode that they go into when they get a wife, or that they all of a sudden morph up into a husband. And you
This,
know
I'm
what's
sorry.
also funny? Oh, sorry, sir, I was
No,
talking.
you
No,
said
Mighty
no,
that.
no,
Morphin Power
Go ahead.
Rangers.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was talking. Thank you. It's always funny that niggas want to tell men not to date single moms, right? But when you showed up at that lady doorstep, her kids had more clothes than you. A 6-month-old baby had more clothes than you. You had 3 pairs of Levi's and a dingy shirt from the corner store.
Oh,
Be for real.
Talking about me, man, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go off. I ain't trying to go back and forth with you.
But Sage, my question is, what specific traits do you think they look for?
I think they look for someone who's long suffering. I think they look for someone who is male centered, who wants to be a substitute to them. I think they look for Christian or women who they feel have a. That's why they ask you like how you feel about family, because they know that if you come from a strong family unit, you're gonna try to uphold that. So no matter what, no matter how they treat you, if he has kids with you, he gonna be sounding like the other dumb niggas, like, yeah, you want to start your own family, right? But this man giving you kids, so he feels like he can take you off the market. I just think what wife material to them is a doormat. If I had to like actually put it into something.
Treat our sisters right, fellas. I don't know who listening, but black men, Treat our women right. You know what to do. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're not really saying nothing.
Don't let this internet trick you. In real life, we out here. We still want our black women. We still respect them. We protect them. Don't let this internet shit trick your mind. Like, and nothing against you, host. I like this panel, but I don't like how the internet be dividing us and making us feel like we gotta pit each other against each other.
Which part of the internet told you that 4 months of like casual conversation? What part of the internet told you that you should have in your mind that you would marry this woman and that?
Nah, that's just how I felt. She was being dishonest. That's why we ain't taking no further, and I cut her off. That's it. Nothing
You
to it.
should have. You know what? I think you should follow the host because we did like this thing today, and I think it would have been helpful for you. Because there's this thing called future faking, like when you plan all this like really extravagant stuff with someone who last name that you didn't know. I don't know. I think you would have benefited from that
Well, I'm
conversation.
okay if I don't get married. So here's the thing, man. I don't have to get married. I can live the rest of my life making money on and no woman. I'm okay with that. I'm okay 100% with that.
There's a new
I hear
I'm
what
person.
y'all
just
saying, but I don't have to get married. I'm cool with that
But
shit.
hold on. Last question. Is that you in your video?
Which one?
It's only one on your thing with the locks.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you should. Yeah, you probably should lower your standards.
Why is that?
But I'll just interject real quick to something that Skinny has said. Y'all need to stop doing that bullshit and trying to be like,
What? What
oh,
we doing? What we
the
doing?
internet. Y'all need to stop doing the whole, oh, the internet's trying to divide us and this, that, and the third.
But
Because
they
y'all use that
are,
as
dog.
you
This is
y'all.
where y'all get the
I'm
info from.
speaking, sir. I'm speaking. Because
Go ahead.
y'all use that as a deflection tactic whenever women have conversations surrounding the bad behaviors of men, and it's being pointed out that this is why there's a epidemic, male loneliness epidemic, that this is why men are having a hard time in the dating market and why they're not finding themselves in satisfactory and content marriages and even relationships. Anytime women have a discussion where we're pointing out the bad behaviors of men and saying that these behaviors, not just on interpersonal levels, but on a societal level, are negatively affecting everyone, that's when y'all motherfuckers want to come up here and talk about, oh, don't let the internet divide us. It's all bullshit. It's not. And there's study cases with statistical and empirical data that's backing up what a majority of women are talking about when we're talking about the interaction, especially in a romantic and sexual sense, when we're dealing with men. That's the only time y'all ever want to say, oh, it's just internet shit, when it's not.
But
Because y'all act like this on the internet and off of it.
I also said black men support our black women. What you guys say about that?
That is the bare basic minimum of what you should be doing as a black man. You don't get applaud. You don't get a round of applause or a standing ovation for telling fucking black men to stop participating in behavior that involves putting down black women or treating them terribly for whatever reasons, bullshit reasons that they have. You don't get a round of applause for that. That's what you should be doing.
Okay, guys, we're gonna move
Is
along.
Gabe there?
Gabe, are you here?
Go ahead, Gabe, and we'll
Yeah,
open the
yeah, I'm
room.
here. Sorry, I was just listening to everybody.
Go ahead, it's your turn. Tell us what you think about the prompt.
Okay, all right. What do men mean when they refer to women as wifey material? I mean, just being like completely honest, I would just say, just a girl that's like very a woman that's very family oriented. A woman that like, has a good relationship, with her mom and dad, also her siblings if she has any, because when you come from a family that's together and not broken, I think what you bring to a future family is honestly going to be better. You know what I mean? Like if you have good experiences with your mom, with your dad, and with your family, you're going to bring those experiences into your future family. So yeah, just somebody that brings peace, somebody that brings joy, somebody that's kind, somebody that's loving, somebody that's loyal, somebody that's respectful, somebody that just like wants to grow together, And also, a woman that's gonna be with you through, thick and thin. You know what I mean? And like, kind of just to elaborate on that, somebody that's gonna be there for you through the good, but also through the bad as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of things you could say about a woman that's you know um wife material. But yeah, I won't try to get into it too much. I hope
No,
everybody understands
no.
what I'm
That's
trying to
what,
say.
Gabe, you're here to get into it a lot. I don't know why y'all do that. You come to a panel to discuss something like, but I don't want to get into it. Get into it. Tell us,
Yeah,
tell us what that thick and thin looks like. I really want to know what that thick is. Like, tell me what that thick is.
yeah,
I'm
I
trying
would
to be
just
awake.
say, you know um I think that, no, I don't want to project, but I think that it's a fair statement to say that a lot of people, vanish when people are not doing the best anymore. And what I mean by that is like, there's going to be times, there could be a lot of times when you got your whole life together. You know what I mean? You're making good money. You got the house. You know what I mean? You got the car. You got the money for vacations. You know what I mean? You got Christmas. You got them, on their birthday. There's hopefully, by the grace of God, there's going to be a lot of those times. But I think it's safe to say that, unfortunately, life is a kind of a roller coaster. Is going to go up, but unfortunately, it could go down. You know what I mean? And I just wish more people would just be with you through the downs, because it's very important in
Can you
life.
explain the downs to us?
Like, just, I mean, unfortunately, let's just say somebody, is investing in stocks. You know what I mean? They're an entrepreneur. There could be a time where they invested in a bad stock. So therefore, their funds are just not really looking the greatest that month, as they used to look. So like, maybe that month, you want to take a pause on the bougie restaurants. Maybe that month, you might have to reschedule, a vacation, with, you and your family, and it would just be nice to have a woman that would be okay with that. You get what I'm saying?
Gabe, can I ask you a question? You
Yeah. What's up?
do you believe that women are leaving after one bad month?
Um, I mean, I wouldn't say after one bad month, but I would say, if it doesn't start to look up extremely quickly, it's gonna be a big problem. You know what I mean?
Because I understand a divorce after consistent bad investments.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying consistent. Like, I would understand if it's consistent why somebody would want to leave. But I just think that it's very unfair to hold somebody at a standard of you only can do great in life at all moments of your life. And if you experience one bad thing, it's over, or it's a problem, or they're going to hold it against you for the rest of your life. You get what I'm saying? That's all that I'm really, trying to
How
say.
old are you, sir?
How old am I? I'm 27.
Do you have personal experience of somebody holding something like that against you?
I mean, it doesn't have to be like a loved one. It could be a best friend, you know.
Yeah, because like that, the scenario you explained isn't usually the type of things that are held over people.
Yeah. Um,
But
I get
y'all,
what you're
hold on,
saying.
cause I'm cooking. Y'all, it's open panel.
Yeah, it's so, yeah. Hopefully everybody can understand, where I'm coming from though. I don't mean any bad intentions. You know, I'm not here to like argue with anybody. You know,
Now you
I
gonna
just
make
want to
me
get
argue with
everybody
you, Dave.
else's.
Why you
Yep.
saying that? It's
Uh,
saying that you don't come to argue like trigger something in me. I don't know why,
I'm
but
sorry.
stop apologizing, Gabe. Okay, who else wants to respond to what Gabe said or to what anyone else said on the panel? Please try not to overtalk each other.
See, they're saying in the comments he really likes to yap. So yeah, I'm just be
You care too much about what people think, Gabe.
You right. You right.
No, that's what your bio say, man. You said that.
Yeah. I mean, you know. I mean, you right.
All right. So, Skinny, what you think about what Gabe said?
He valid, and I feel the same way as him. I ain't trying to fight with y'all. I don't want no
Is
smoke.
he violent or valid?
He's valid.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Appreciate you, gang.
You don't have nothing to build on what he said?
I
Or did
ain't
you like
hear everything he said, but it's probably kind of close to what I said in the beginning.
you ain't hear nothing he said, but you
Nah, I
know
said part
y'all
of.
probably gonna be like on the same side. I get it. Okay.
No, I didn't hear everything he said, miss. I'm sorry.
Okay. Slick, you've been unmuted for the whole time. I feel like I'm gonna mute up. I'm gonna let you take off. Go ahead, Slick.
I get where you're coming from. Yeah, like if you keep on like messing up financially, eventually someone in the relationship is gonna confront you about it and maybe leave, maybe stay with you. So I can get where you're coming from that.
Appreciate that.
I don't know who smoke detector on or whatever, what that is. Gabe, I'm gonna be honest. Your voice kind of threw me off. I stopped listening, but I didn't hear nothing insightful. I will say that one thing you said about the mess over the finances, even though finances become an issue, it's not you just went through like one situation. Usually, it's like a series of person having like unrealistic expectations, and the financials just don't match. But y'all not saying shit either. I think that's interesting. Like, for y'all to be talking about what y'all want in a woman, like, it sounds like Ray Bay got a better understanding on what my wife material is than the men on the panel.
Can I say something real quick though? Tur, I don't know how to say your name. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. I don't really have much to ask for from a wife though. Just me personally. I was trying to say that in the beginning. I don't really have much. Like I'm that big on she got to fold my clothes, she got to cook me food, she got to treat me like a king. Just come in this joint. Just we
What does
respect
treat
each
you
other,
like mean?
huh?
What does treat you like? Because the reason, like, I think it's easy for y'all to say that is because women come automatically doing the stuff that y'all want us to do.
Not
So
all of them.
for nothing, she cooks every day. She cleans up the house. She does the laundry. What
Not
else?
all of them. I'm sorry. Go ahead, ma'am. I don't want to talk over you. I'm sorry.
No, we kind of need a little bit of static up here because y'all a little bit boring.
No,
So
that's the thing. Y'all, we come up here. We
Boring.
tell y'all we don't want no problems. Y'all still want
no.
smoke, man.
Hold
I
up,
don't
why?
want no
Hold
bump.
up, sir.
Complacent.
Hold up, real quick. Why you say we?
Yeah, we.
I said I don't want no bump. The
No,
late
you
because
said
Gabe
we.
said I don't want no problems. Another woman said something about that. I don't want to argue triggers me. I'm like, dog,
Yeah.
how does
Yeah.
that trigger you, dog? Like,
I'm sorry. I'm just really not a what's the word? What's the word? Confrontation. Yeah, it's just
me
It's
like
not
either.
about, hold up, real quick. It's not about
yeah.
conversation. What I'm
I
saying
like to be
is, hold
civil.
up. What I'm saying is, it's interesting because when it comes to defining what wife material is, like, you would expect like the men to have a better idea, but all I hear is a bunch of like body count, humble yourself, and we can get along. Like,
I didn't say that.
Is it
y'all,
okay if is it
Me?
okay
hold
if
up,
I
real
give you my
quick, real
definition?
quick.
Yeah.
I was still talking. You can go right
I'm
there.
sorry. Go ahead.
But it's like when y'all talk about relationships, y'all vague as hell. Y'all real vague. Y'all like Like, do you know what you want? Like, it sounds like, oh, I'm gonna just give this a try. I'm gonna say what I want. But in a relationship, it don't show up like that. So it's just interesting how, like, I don't know, it's giving like lack of self awareness or something. But go ahead, favorite.
All
Hmm.
right. So I think that experience is life's best teacher. You know what I'm saying? And the longer you live, the more you learn, especially about the opposite smecks, because I know we can't say that word here on TikTok. But when we say wife material, I think a beautiful biblical and psychological definition of that means that, she's not a checklist of perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. None of us are perfect. I always tell people, don't look for a
Hold on, real
perfect person,
quick.
but look,
Hold up. You
yes,
confused me. Biblical and psychological?
yes, yes. I know you don't normally think
Who
the
smoke
two
detector is
influence.
that?
I don't know, but it's not mine.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
one.
yeah, my batteries stay up
Yeah,
to
I'm just
date.
saying, you said
Yeah,
biblical and psychological. I've never
yeah,
heard
I
anyone
did.
say something like that.
I'll explain it to you. I'll break it down for you if you allow me to. It's up to you,
No, go
because I
ahead.
don't want to. Okay. So wife material is not a checklist of perfections, but the essence of a woman's whose heart is both anchored in wisdom and adorned with grace. You know what I'm saying? So she's not defined by her beauty alone. You know what I'm saying? Because beauty fades. You got to understand, when you look at a wife, you shouldn't look at the momentary. You should look at the longevity. Is this a woman I can grow old with? You know what I'm saying? A woman I can share eternity with. So you look at her by her inner strength, the way she carries herself, the peace she cultivates, and the truth she lives by. So what I mean by the biblical aspect is that she mirrors the woman in Proverbs 31. She's clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future, because she knows she's
Oh, well,
got
I
you
knew
and
it.
you got her. You see
I
what I'm
knew you
saying?
was
So
quoting it. I put it in the
so
chat.
yeah,
I'm sorry. That was
so
me though.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, so there you go. It's Proverbs 30. And then she honors God first, knowing that love begins in reverence. You see what I'm saying? So she's a
So
nurturer
you
of
hold on.
life.
What you just say? All right. So you're looking for a Christian woman.
So it doesn't necessarily mean a Christian woman. Hear me out.
You said love.
So
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Yes,
so
it
hear me
does.
out.
Because if you want somebody to, if you want a woman to embody the values that a biblical woman was, and that's what you're looking for, a woman that is
Uh,
of some denomination of Christianity, because not every woman believes in Christianity. Not everyone is a follower of Christianity. There are many women that are followers of different faiths. If you're going to use the Bible as a reference, that's what you're looking for.
Ray Bay, if you could give me a second to finish, you'll understand, okay? And I just would like just that moment to finish, so that you can get, like, and all you're getting, get understanding, so you'll understand where I'm coming from. So this isn't about me specifically. See, I don't have a monolithic way of thinking, and a lot of us do, you know what I'm saying? And I used to have a very monolithic way of thinking, where one way was it. You see what I'm saying? So, the fact is, if you are, for me, if it was me, we're talking about me, yeah, I would be looking for someone who abided by the word of God. That's why I'm giving a biblical and a
Yeah.
philosophical.
So here's the
The,
thing. Hold up, sir. It don't have. All right. You need to learn how to summarize. What I'm saying is,
that,
once you start
yeah,
talking about, hold up. Once you say biblical and proverbs, that's what I'm saying. You like psychology, biblical. You want somebody who's Christian. You're very much Christian. You want a
I do,
woman who's
yes.
Christian. So wife
Right, for
material to
me.
you is a Christian woman. See how simple
Right,
that was?
right, but that's what I'm saying. That's a monolithic way of thinking, right? I didn't think we were just speaking for myself. When the question goes for wife material, I wasn't simply referring to me. I was referring to the fact that,
Sorry, not
um,
every. No, 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 no. That's not true.
yeah,
Everybody isn't Christian. Not everybody follows the Bible. So
I
no,
agree
it
with
would
that.
be
That's my right.
sir,
That's my
sir,
theory too. Yeah,
sir. Listen, what I'm saying.
yeah.
It would be you. It would be you because let's say a man isn't religious. Let's say he Muslim or like one of the other Abrahamic religions or another religion. Like he's not gonna want somebody who's biblical necessarily. So that's for you specifically. You can't just say that apply for everybody.
No, I don't think you guys are effectively hearing me. I did never once said it applies for everybody. I never once said that this is the staple across the board. I said if we were just speaking about me, then yes, the biblical aspect would apply.
I
I
mean,
am
now
not
you're saying
just speak.
that. No,
No,
no, you're
I
saying
said
that
that. I
now.
said that.
No,
No,
you
I said that
didn't. You
originally. I
didn't.
did. I said I
No,
absolutely
you
did say that to
didn't.
Raven.
You did not say
God is my
it,
witness. I did.
No,
I
no,
sincerely
God is
did.
lying.
I did.
God is
No,
lying, and you're lying too.
I'm not.
Just
I
go
did say. I
ahead. If you
clearly
want
said.
somebody
Yeah.
that's Christian, go ahead.
No.
Keep going.
Right.
Right, because that
Okay.
I dead ass said that you wanted somebody who was Christian because you're
Right.
using the
And I
your
didn't
Bible
just.
as reference, and you did
Right. I
not say.
didn't
You
just.
said no, not me, and then proceeded to turn around and change the
Right.
answer.
I
Yeah,
said
that's
that this
weird.
isn't. Right. I said this isn't just about me. I'm a
So
church.
you're a
So.
liar. So any woman
Why
who
So
y'all
I'm not. I'm
trolling
not.
no,
here,
no, no, no,
man?
because he's trying to
Man.
backtrack, and that's weird. All you
No,
had
I'm
to do is
not.
say,
I
"Yeah,
never
you're right. It's
backtracked.
about
I never.
me."
Yeah.
All right,
Well, I
sir,
can't say you're
sir,
right to
sir,
something that's not
sir.
right.
You want to be with a woman that's Christian? Go ahead.
Right.
Finish your list.
So, all right. If I can have the opportunity to finish, I'll try to wrap this up shortly. I apologize. So, if we
That's what I'm
were,
asking you to do.
all right, that's what I'm about to do. If we were just speaking about me, yes, I prefer a woman that's Christian. We're speaking about wife material in general. That's a woman of wife material. She reflects emotional intelligence and relational maturity. She knows how to listen deeply and speak truthfully. She also holds a space for vulnerability, both in her own and others. She's secure in her identity. You know what I'm saying? She's not seeking competition in a man, but connection. Her empathy isn't weakness, but strength, and that's forged in self awareness and emotional resilience. And that's something that she can nurture without losing herself. And she stands strong without hardening her heart. So that's what I think of in general. It doesn't matter who or what walk of life you are. And that's the psychological aspect for me of wife material. I wrapped it up and I land my
So
plane.
you want to
So
apply your meaning to everybody. Okay, that's why
no,
you
no,
get put.
it's
Hold up. You say you landed. That's why you gave so much pushback about me talking about the biblical thing was tied to yourself, and you wanted to backtrack because you want your definition of wife material to apply to everyone, which is a narrow way of thinking. Because you're like, oh, that's for everybody. Somebody might hear your list and say, oh, no, I don't want that on my list, or your list is too simplistic. It's too vague. Like, you can't be like, well, this is the general for everybody. And I think that's a problem. One of the reasons we have social media and we have access to talk to people in different parts of the country, in different parts of the world, and different many cultures, subcultures within that, each demographic or whatever, is so that we can share ideas. For y'all to come online and say that, well, it's one universal belief and that's what it should be, or that's what it is, it's fucking crazy. But whatever, you're a liar. Y'all, anybody else want to say something?
Skinny.
Yes.
Okay,
No,
since
I'm
we're
sorry.
there,
Don't say it in the comments. Lack of wisdom. Sorry, you talk like we at fucking poetry night or something. You're not saying anything. You're
But
not being
he ain't
insightful. No, no, no. That's what I'm saying. Your ego too fucking big. Like you see what I'm saying? Like,
what?
so you're a fucking problem. You're not saying that
Damn.
somebody ain't no wisdom here. You don't want to be wrong, and because you don't want to be wrong about something you clearly did, we all witnessed you saying. Now you want to come for there's no wisdom, sir. When you say there's no wisdom in here, I hope you know you're talking about yourself. But
Right,
go ahead.
because how you want to sit there and talk about, oh, I'm saying in a general sense, and then try to turn around and say, no, no, you guys are y'all are thinking monotheistically or what the fuck ever you said, sir. You said in a general sense, meaning that you were trying to apply what you saw as wife material by utilizing or referencing the Bible onto everybody.
well, I want to know what Skinny and Slick heard him say because they
Nah,
said that they agree with him. So,
at,
Skinny, what did he say wife material was?
nah,
Don't make it long, just
at
30
first,
seconds.
at first he said he didn't his perspective, he didn't apply that to everyone. Y'all saying he didn't say that, but he did say that at first. That's just
Okay,
his opinion though. I don't
past
think
that,
nothing wrong with it.
what
He
are the
used the Bible.
qualities? The qualities that he said he wanted in a wife. I misspoke. I'm sorry. Bullet points. What are the qualities he said he wanted in a wife?
You asking me? I don't know whose turn it is. I ain't want to talk over no one. But he did say virtuous woman. That's one of them I heard. I didn't hear all of them.
What does that mean?
By definition, I don't know. But I would, in
Hold on,
context, I would
hold
think
on.
something
You
good.
agree with something that you don't know what it means?
But I was trying to say the context of it. I would think something positive.
So you just hear and you like, oh, there must be something positive. I agree,
Yeah, because he's speaking about the Bible.
but you don't know what
See,
it means.
But I know the
see,
context what he's saying.
See, this is what I said in my earlier statement when I first came up here is that you get two outcomes when it comes to this topic. Either they're describing something they heard somebody else say, or they have no idea what the fuck they actually want. So
That's what
they
he
just
said,
say
not
shit.
me.
I'm referring to you as well because you're over here
Well, I didn't
agreeing
say
with the
that.
fact
He did.
you're over here agreeing with the fact that yes, it's a positive thing to be a virtuous woman, but can't define what that means.
Can you tell me
So
what it means, please?
so you're over here agreeing with something that you don't even know the meaning.
Can you teach me? Can somebody
No,
teach me real
no,
quick?
No.
go look it up.
Because I said something positive. So, I mean, if I don't know, I don't know. But
But you just assume that's so crazy.
y'all jumping on me. That wasn't my main point. That was what the gentleman said before me.
You're missing a whole point though. You
Now, I
say
got
you
you.
agree with something that man said. You vocalize it because virtuous women sound like something positive. You didn't think, oh, let me go look that up real quick. You just said that sound right.
Okay, and if I look it up, then what? I know the definition. That's all. I'm not the one who said it. That wasn't my thing. That wasn't my idea of it. That was his. But y'all jumping on
That's
me like
not
it
the
was
point.
my idea.
Again, that's not the point. Nobody was saying it's your idea. What the point is that you're agreeing with something that he said and do not know the meaning of what he was talking about.
Okay, what's
That's the
wrong with that?
point.
What's wrong with
You
that?
you didn't hear it either. You
Oh,
didn't
Jesus
hear what he
Christ.
said. You admitted that you wasn't on the phone. This man could have said he liked women that suck his toes with crab legs on Thursdays, and you were
He
here
could have
talking
said he
about,
liked to be pegged and rammed hard from the back. And you like that man
I
smooth.
ain't
yep,
hear all. I
listen,
ain't hear all
yep.
that. I ain't hear all that. I heard virtuous woman. That's what
No,
I'm
you
talking
don't
about.
know what he said though. That's the thing. You don't know what he
I
said.
asked y'all what virtuous mean. Y'all can't tell me what it is neither. Though
But
I ain't
it's
trying to
not
get
our job to
sassy.
tell you what it means. You agreeing with stuff and don't know the
Well,
context of knowing the
I'm not trying to
definition
be
is
sassy, man.
anti-intellectualism. It's problematic. You just that's what I'm saying. Y'all so you sound like a conformist. You gonna
The
go with
whole
whatever people say. Because
right, because
not
the
only do
whole
you lack the definition, you don't have examples of it.
and the whole point of educating yourself is to do just that, educate yourself. If you don't know what something means, then you don't ask somebody to teach you because you're
Nah,
too lazy to look it up. You
it's
go
just a
look it up
word.
and inform yourself.
It take
But
two
that's why they
seconds to
sound
learn it.
vague now because y'all just going by like what sound right. And that's what I meant earlier when I said you lack the social skills. And the way that Ray Bay fucking broke that shit down, you could tell she was going by her personal experiences. She was going back to her database, like, okay, based on this is what the person wanted to call this, and gave examples of each. Y'all vague. Y'all not saying shit. That's what I'm saying. Y'all lack social skills. It's giving you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then Poetic Justice came up here saying a bunch of nothing, and you like, oh, that man spitting. You
It's
dated, you told that man because you had a bad experience with a woman who had a child, and you couldn't get along with the father. You like, don't date a woman with a child. Don't date a woman with a child. Like, y'all just, you don't know what you're talking about, and then y'all have the nerve to give other people advice.
and
It's crazy.
what's even crazier about this topic is that if the topic was reversed and it was asking women what is their definition of husband material, they would be able to give you a detailed breakdown of what they look for in a man that would make them husband material. Y'all just be saying words, have zero idea what the fuck the definition is, and being like, "Yep, I agree," from the peanut gallery.
All right, I'm not trying to be mean, but are y'all married?
Are you?
No, I'm not. I've
Okay
established that
then. So
already.
what are we
Now, just
talking
not
about?
seriously though. I'm not trying to be mean. Are y'all
No,
married?
you
That's
are
all I want to
though.
know.
You were trying to be something. Because what does that matter?
I'm telling you, I don't have no dog in this fight. Y'all are the
No, no,
boss.
no.
This is
But
y'all
I'm
house.
asking, why would that matter?
I just want to see y'all answer. Yes or no. That's it. It
You're
don't
trying to
matter to me.
confirm that, oh yeah, I'm a good man if we not married. But what if we all are
No.
happily married, or what if we're widows because we didn't want to deal with the white man's paperwork?
Well, I say my condolences and I leave it at that.
Because it's not going to change the conversation.
I'm not trying to win or no. I'm not. I told you I don't want no argument or no bump and no smoke with y'all. I'm
Okay.
listening. I want to hear y'all out.
Then
That's
what is
why
the
I'm
point of
here.
Okay.
asking if we're married and you're not married either? Where's the conversation going after that?
I'm not
What
trying
point
to.
is being made?
No point is being made. It's just a yes or no. That's it. Y'all don't have to answer.
You know, we're just
It's
trying
not a
to
yes or
help you
no because
understand.
men usually ask that because like when it comes to women in our society, it's like your value is supposed to be tied to whether or not you married or not. As if what you're saying can't be valid.
I don't blame nobody marital status. I don't judge nobody marital status. Hey, that's what I don't want to. I don't really care if I get married or not. Me personally, it don't make or break me.
But you do care, Skinny, and it's okay to say that you care.
I'm telling you, if I live the rest of my life alone, I'm 100% fine with that. Like God honest truth. I'm okay with that.
But you haven't left the women alone on this panel. When we wasn't even talking to you, you were talking
Nah,
to us.
she invited me up and I was just talking to her and y'all came in and y'all asked me questions. I leave though. If it's like that, I leave. God bless y'all. Take care.
I just know God in the upper room confused as fuck as to why he keep getting brought into this.
So what I heard from the uncle guy, he was just making Bible references. So I assume he was just looking for like it was a sugarcoating way to say he was looking for a Christian girl. That's what I got from it because I really wasn't paying attention to him.
So you looking for somebody who's Christian?
Not necessarily.
So why did you agree with them?
I didn't agree to him. I didn't say anything. I just said, can we just respect what he like? And
But
someone in
you,
the comments said no.
I got a question, because what if he would have described it a Satanist? Because what if he would have described it a Satanist?
I don't really like mess with that
But that's
because
what he likes. But
I
you're
mean,
okay with the Christian.
hey, you like what you like. I'm not gonna get into it. That's like your personal preference, but I'm gonna stay away from stuff like that.
But the whole point is nobody was disrespecting what he liked. The fact is he was trying to give long-winded and vague answers about what he was looking for, and then took a condescending tone when he got called out for the fact that he was trying to use a generalization while telling us to not assume or have a narrow-minded way of thinking or use generalizations. He could have just came up here and said that his preference and that those who are like-minded to him would to be have a God-fearing woman, to have a woman of some Christian denomination, rather than come up here and say a bunch of bullshit and being like, in a general sense, including all men, generalizing all men, and saying that's what all men are looking for, when we know that's not categorically true.
He actually made his own point, and they be making their own point, and it be a good point, but they miss it. He's like, but how am I supposed to say what other men like when we're not a monolith? Bingo! It's like the point just kind of hit you right in the face. And
Yeah,
also,
that's
we did not consent to no Christian speakeasy. Don't ever do that again, Mr. Sir.
I wonder what Slick think about the advice that Skinny gave him about not dating a woman with children.
me personally. Like as like when I was like a young boy, I loved older women. I still do. So if I met the right woman, that I guess I wouldn't mind it because I'm a family oriented guy from my mom.
You
So
from the Virgin Islands?
the what? The Virgin
Where are you
Islands?
from?
I'm from Philly.
Philly, you sound Jamaican. I mean, you sound Caribbean.
I do.
Don't talk with me in
I'm
a
stuck
minute.
on a. I'm just. How the fuck you gonna say when I was young? You're 18, sir. You're still young.
Yeah, like when I was a little boy, I like older
You,
women.
you, you. I don't want to call you a little boy, but your mind frame haven't changed much from when you're about 13.
Well, I guess I will need to know because it was just interesting for him to explain what happened in his previous relationship, and then him to hop off the mic and be like, "Well, don't mess with nobody with kids." What the situation was, unless he has a different reason for not being in that relationship. He literally said it didn't work out because the father of the child and him was bumping his. Like that's not the advice to get from that. That's what I'm saying. It's like that's blanket. You leaving out a lot of information, and like maybe it could have been a moment to share something with somebody. Like, hey, make sure that like you can establish a decent relationship with the partner. This what I said. Blah blah blah. But the problem is, men don't tend to talk things out like women do, and when they give advice to each other, it's like very vague. They don't. They just be saying stuff that's like loaded, and then
Not
like,
to
oh,
mention,
you picking up what I'm putting down.
not to mention, 9 times out of 10, it's bad advice. Because like he's talking to, then that leads to, like I said earlier, point of what I stated is that these men they'll always, it's funny because they'll always carry on the rhetoric that women are too emotional and they make other men pay for, they make their new current partners or new potential men pay for the mistakes of the men that came before them, but y'all be doing the same shit and trying to repackage it as something else.
Hey, Judy.
Yeah, I
Do
understand what you're
y'all think?
saying. It's like it's mainly like on the
Hold
person
on, quick.
though, on the
I'm
both
gonna talk
levels.
over you for a minute. I know you're still here, but I gotta ask them a question. Do y'all think that because it's in line with this? Do y'all think that? Damn it! Hold on. How it's supposed to come out? So y'all know how men give these other men these vague scenarios, right?
Hmm.
And I mean, we see it in real time how men create, how they build on that story, and they just fill in the blanks, right? I can see how that's dangerous, towards women, how that can incite violence towards women. Am I like off there?
No, because we see it happening in real time right now with the whole rise and continual uplifting of the red pill space, because that is a majority of the rhetoric is a bunch of low emotional IQ having men that have access, unrestricted access to podcasts and microphones, getting on microphones and social media platforms to denigrate women and spread anti-women rhetoric, all because they were hurt in the past by a particular type of woman and then chose to make that every other woman's issue.
Yeah, and even and beyond that, we know that there's this thing where older men give advice to young boys, teenagers, and younger men, and you see the same thing there. Where like from a young age they think, oh, it's supposed to be like this, but like that man didn't break anything down to you. He told you how to have game, how to get over on somebody, but he's not telling you about like how insecure he is and how he has to get over on a woman to feel like he is somebody. And it's like they pick it up and then we get this endless cycle of like toxic men. And when you try to point it out to them, it's like they can't receive the message because like it's already been embedded in their mind. They're like, oh, women bad, men good. I'm gonna agree with the men because like it's team man over here. Like that shit is fucking
Right.
sickening.
Because they'll give these young boys very misguided and very dangerous advice on how to spit game, how to change their personalities to trick women into thinking that they're somebody that they're not so they can get access to some coochie, but they don't give y'all advice that would actually help y'all build long-lasting content relationships, which is like I said, why we're seeing the rise in the male loneliness epidemic and why we're seeing men now holding conversations, bad ones at that, about why the dating market is so toxic or why it's so hard, because y'all aren't giving each other good advice. Y'all are just telling each other how to
All
play
right,
women
that's
and how
funny
to be
that you
terrible
said.
people.
Right, right. So it's funny that you said.
Hi
Who's still
TD,
talking?
welcome. Go ahead, Ray Bay.
Yeah, but that's why I land my plane on that. It's just y'all keep giving each other bad advice and then acting shocked and appalled when you end up middle-aged, unsatisfied with your relationship or your love lives because you're not telling these young boys how to actually embody characteristics that women find appealing that would make them want to stay in a long-lasting relationship, that would make them want to do all of these things that y'all deem as wife material and as wifely duties. Y'all are just telling each other how to run game and not how to actually build long lasting relationships.
Okay, Slick, did you want to respond before TD goes?
Um, well, the only like advice I gotten on about
I'm,
girls was
I'm gonna
from
give you 1 minute, okay? Go ahead.
it was from my mom and my uncle that they gave me advice on girls. They was like, don't mess with these type of girls because they're like bad news or whatever. You feel me? So really,
Like what type of girls they said?
like like the the ghetto loud obnoxious one. Don't trust them or nothing.
So they reinforce the stereotype.
Uh, well, it helped me so far because most of the girls around where I used to grow up was like involved with gangs and stuff.
No,
So it's
I
like,
mean that's what I'm saying. You grew up probably in the hood, right? And what happens
yeah,
is like a lot of people who live in the hood don't want to be in there, and they have this tendency of thinking that they're different from the people there. So it's like, oh, we better than them. I'm going to
not at
reinforce the
all.
stereotype. Hold up, I'm going to reinforce the stereotype by saying, oh, this is how this is how this is the racist trope of these people. Let me tell you about them. Don't be with nobody like that, right? Like that's That's crazy. But go ahead, Benny.
Yeah. So you all know who I am, but like I just wanted to respond to what Sagittarius was saying. You know,
Why does man sound familiar?
that's real disingenuous what she was saying because, oh,
He be in Mia spaces.
yeah. So these women love getting lied to. You know, guys that tell them the truth, you know, they view as corny. You know, black women don't
Who
like
told
corny
you this?
men,
Sir,
right?
sir, sir.
No.
Tell us how you came to that
These
conclusion.
women love the guys that lie to them because they bust you wide open
Sir,
for
tell
about a
us how you
pound.
came to that conclusion.
How did I?
Mm-hmm.
Off experience and just off wisdom from other people.
So instead of telling him, hey, I'm broken, and I can't be honest with a woman about how broken I am because she's not going to want to be with me because I technically am not fit to be in a relationship and I got all these motherfucking problems and this baggage. Oh, women just want to be lied to.
All right,
That what
so
you're saying?
right. So instead of a woman, you know, lying to a man, instead of just getting with him and saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna be with you forever. This is temporary," they lie too, right? Right. So what's the difference if a guy lie and if she lie? Because they both lie. At the end of the day, a woman get with a man and he think she gonna be with him forever, but that broad promiscuous. She's hypergamous. She not gonna be with you forever.
Now, you definitely know you doing a talking point because don't none of y'all niggas that know what that shit really mean or how
No,
it
no,
works.
no, no, no. I know what that means because I know female nature. I know y'all woman.
There's no female nature, sir. And now, hold up real quick. We're talking about humans, just so you clear. Y'all be thinking about your pet cat that you violated. We're talking about human beings. So if you're talking about human beings, we're saying women. I know y'all like to slide into animals of other species, but we're talking about human beings, sir.
As I was saying, I know y'all woman. You know, like a lot of these women, you know, they all try to talk a good game saying men lie, but okay, y'all still bust it wide open for them, right?
Y'all be busting it wide open for men too who lie to y'all.
Okay,
Like
so
they be saying they ain't gonna leave
right.
my
So here
wife
go the
and stuff.
emasculation tactics that black women
No,
use.
masculinity is
Yeah,
fake, so I can't emasculate.
man. It's
And I know masculine
typical.
G-men, so
Yeah, I'm saying it's typical.
mhm. I don't want to make you like yell too hard. I know your butt's still sore. You had
Yeah.
anything else you want to say?
No,
Right.
it's
So what?
interesting because hold up. Again, like he lies to women because he has to lie to women. He not fit to be in a
Hey, so
relationship with a
slick. So
woman.
as soon as you,
Sir,
hey,
sir.
slick. As soon as you dominate the conversation,
Anyways, like I was saying, he's not fit to be in a relationship. He has to lie. He has to lie to himself and the women in his life. You're like, whoa, women just want to be lied to. So you're talking about a manipulative situation. So y'all want to advise other men to have fucking personality disorders, doing dysfunctional shit, because what? You want to get some coochie? That's crazy.
And keep talking about, oh, women are promiscuous. Y'all as men are more promiscuous than women. It does not take much to get y'all to drop them Fruit of the Looms.
You don't even gotta like buy them dinner or nothing. Them niggas do it for free.
my point exactly. Oh,
All
Y'all
they
have to.
do.
they do it, so why can't we do it? Black women
You
do
know
it. Yeah.
what? You know what happened? Ray B. Tara told me, and some other people told me, like these niggas real easy. They be in the they be doing it in the sauna with other men.
Mm, I believe it.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, man, like these women just be talking about their fathers and their brothers and all that,
No,
man.
no, sir. No. Tell him you hate women. Tell him you got some issues with your father and you hate women.
Oh no, man, I love
No,
women.
no, 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 no. Tell them about your childhood experiences and how it fucked you up. Now you hate
Absolutely.
women.
Absolutely, I love women, you know,
No,
but
no. You
no,
don't
no,
like
no.
women.
Let's
It's
not
very
use that
clear.
as
No, 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 no.
emasculation tactic. We
Sir,
ain't doing
sir,
that.
you want to circle jerk with this man so fucking bad. You want to circle jerk with this man so fucking bad. You don't like women. Like, oh, so you going to lie on the panel too because you're a fucking liar.
Also, explain, also give the definition of emasculation, because there's too many of y'all that keep getting up on this panel and using words with more than two syllables that you actually have no idea what the meaning is.
Right. So, for example, Sagittarius says
No, I know.
something.
I said
Ma'am.
define the
All right, so
word.
let me answer your question.
I said
Ma'am, you
define
don't
the
gotta
word.
argue with me. I'm gonna answer your question, okay? As I was saying,
No,
Sagittarius
that's not
has
what.
something to say.
No,
I,
because she
I'm,
wasn't the one that said
I'm
it.
giving
I was the
you
one
an
that said it.
example.
I don't
Let
want
me
an
give you
example.
my
I
no,
want
no,
a
no, no.
definition of the
Us men are
word.
logical, so let me give you the full
No,
logic.
give me no. I don't want your whatever
All right,
explanation you're gonna
so
give. That's
here
not
we
what was
go, the bull
asked.
stuff.
That's not what was asked. What was asked was for you to give
I
the definition of
dominated
the
the
word.
conversation and then I went to gay jokes, right? That's emasculation tactics. That's
Give
something that black
the
women do.
no, I said give me the definition of the word emasculation, not examples, the definition. If you don't know it, then go look at Merriam-Webster. But I said
Right,
the
right, right. So
definition.
that's when typical black women try to make men feel inferior to y'all, by
That's
trying to
not the
down
definition of the word
Hold on, real
emasculation.
things
quick.
like that.
Hold on, real
So
quick, real quick, real quick. Because he just said he loved women. Then he's saying, "Oh, typical black women." You don't like women, sir.
No,
You don't like women.
I don't like bonquishes. That's different.
So you anti-black. You don't like black women.
but he up here still not answering the question because I said the definition of the word, not your
Because you're not
personal
gonna answer that
definition.
word. You're not gonna answer that because what he's saying
But
is talking points.
yeah, they
But you
didn't put
know,
that in the insert. If they don't put definitions in the insert that they make in their mama's basement, they're not gonna like they're not the definition
Yeah,
to
yeah,
to
world
put
boss.
bullet
These
point.
women not wives, man. They just yapping, man. You right.
Are you trying to recruit him or something?
I think that's his boyfriend. I think they came in together.
No. He acting like he's trying to recruit that nigga or something.
I mean, that's all y'all do. Y'all use these emasculation
No.
jokes. I
Are
mean,
you
like,
trying to recruit him? Cut up.
these jokes
Won't you
y'all
just
do
tell
getting
him,
old.
sir? Won't you? No, it's not about a joke. Tell him that you want him to be in your club or cult or whatever the fuck. Cause you talking like you like. Yeah, when he's talking to you, you don't want to answer the question. All right, you still want to be up
Tara,
there, and
well,
you
I
got like all
mean,
this information you want to talk to this young man for what, sir?
right. So, Tara, I would like you to, talk a bit more soft and sweet and submissive to me. Thank you.
Like you talking? Now I like the way you talking to me, soft and sweet and submissive. But I had a point that I was trying to make, and you didn't answer my question.
shit, I'm still waiting on the answer for mine. I said give the
Ray
definition,
Bay,
and
I
he's
answered
still
your
not giving
question,
the
but you're not
definition.
getting no more time because you're childish, right? So you were saying what now, Tara?
So you don't know the definition. Got it.
I don't know
No.
your definition. You're right. I don't know your definition.
No, I said
Absolutely
give
not.
me the Merriam-Webster dictionary
Man,
definition. Yeah, you couldn't even do
you.
that.
All right, Ray Bay. What's 5 plus 5?
It's 10. Now
Hold
what?
up. Why all
Spell
this? Hold
cat.
up.
Spell
A
cat.
bunch of derailment and deflection. You still not answered the
Right?
question.
Spell cat, Ray Bay.
No. You keep trying to turn her question to a question, but you haven't answered any of them.
Yes, I did answer your question.
No, you
you
didn't.
But I'm
Y'all,
not gonna
y'all
play
know
the
what's
childish
funny?
shenanigans.
The only person being dominated on this panel is Slick. Slick, every time every woman was up here talking, Slick was unmuted. Soon as this ugly ass nigga above me came on here talking, Slick muted up and got a juice box and sat still.
No,
Not a juice box.
Slick. Don't. This is what women do. They love
It's
trying to
your
make men
daddy.
fight each other.
You been looking for a
Hold
daddy
up. No,
since-
Sage. The way TD is talking, it's like he's trying to recruit that nigga.
Bro, I'm getting strays for no reason. I'm just
No.
trying to.
I'm not talking to you. I'm just talking about what TD's doing. TD
Yeah, that was
is talking
Sagittarius
like,
trying to start
hold
shit,
up,
bro.
sir. He's talking like he coaching him through something. Do y'all notice that?
He
I
talking
just
him
think it's
through it for
funny.
sure.
I just think it's funny how he came up here talking about men are more logical, but couldn't answer a simple question, and then
Well, he
proceeded to
can't.
use
Well,
deflection
here's
tactics.
the
Because he
thing: he
does.
can't answer the question because they're talking points, and we know they're talking points because we've heard them before. I think it's very interesting how like his whole thing here is not to answer the question, any of our questions, to not actually respond to the prompt, but to kind of coach this somebody he know is younger, and it just goes into what I was just saying about how older men who are broken had problems. Instead of working through their issues and being honest about their realities, they try to like recruit. He's
Saj.
like hyper focused on recruitment right now, and I think that's interesting.
Saj.
Yes, I think it's interesting that you're not submissive and obedient.
Hold
You
on,
know the
TD.
middle authority.
Masculine people was talking. Go ahead, Slick.
The real men
You,
are talking.
do you got something
All right,
against
broad.
me? Because I was being like respectful, the whole time I was there. And you just talking about, oh, listen to your daddy. Oh, you
I'm
got
not
juice box.
answering that. But you know what, Tara, I find it
Yeah,
amazing
yeah, bro.
how
These
like the
black women
men
always try to
on
emasculate
the
black men.
panel, like how they're proving the point of your two lives recently. Like they
Yeah,
show it
definitely.
all in real time.
Yeah. For me, I hear what you're saying, but for me, it's just interesting how like he want to come up here like the first guy Skinny who was up here was telling his story and he was acting like he was so open minded. But then when Slick came up, his first thing out his mouth was, "Oh, don't mess with nobody with who got a child." And then like was quick to agree with the guy above, even though he didn't know what he was saying. Now we know this new dude TV don't know the talk, like he only know the talking points. He's not gonna be able to define anything, so he can't answer the question. So he's using deflection and derailment. But his hyper focus on Slick is predatorial.
It is.
It is. And like I said, going to point out again how he was talking about men are so logical, but have been up here calling women out their names and then using anti-black rhetoric alongside of the deflection. Sir, if you were such a logical man, you would have been able to answer that question.
Because what happens because we have a hierarchy when it comes to gender. Black men turn when it comes to gender, black men turn their anti-blackness instead of them recognizing that is their feelings about themselves. They deflected onto black women because he claimed he loved black women, but then he quickly said, "Oh, this is what these women do." Like he doesn't like black women. He
Say
has
he
some
likes it.
experiences. He has some views on himself that's lacking, and like he using that to like with his rhetoric, fine. He sound like he red pill. Got it. They got that nigga. But
Yep.
their infatuation with like like influencing younger men is fucking crazy. Like the shit is like that's what it means when they say misery loves company. Like he's trying to like assert some type of dominance on a fucking panel. That means nothing. That means nothing. But like these older guys, they are fixated. They make it their life mission to fuck up the lives of younger men because their lives are fucked up. And then they lie about like where they stand with things.
Right. Try to bring God into it. Stop bringing that man into this.
Skinny want to be married so bad. Skinny want to be a wife so bad. But because you see how many times he told us he didn't. Skinny wants somebody to get on their knee, like while he have his locks in a bun, and ask them to spend forever with him. He wants that so bad, but he's scared to say it. This dude was planning on marrying, well, fake marrying a woman he know for 4 months. What kind of I think Joker did this in Batman, where he had this whole relationship in his head with this woman, and she didn't know he exists. That's what I was getting from that. I'm like, I hope that lady moved.
Yeah, but it's like he was putting expectations on what she should be doing as a wife, and they wasn't even in a relationship. That was weird.
Yeah, that was super weird because again, they're making up, and y'all know I like true crime, so I'm always looking at how like psychos think. They think just like these men. They're upset at women for being Jezebels. They think that they're out of control, so they unalive them. Like they be like these dudes be up here really sounding like Billy Loomis
I don't know who the fuck that is, but
from Scream.
but the thing Skinny he lacks social skills. I don't know if it's an executive function thing or whatever, but he lacks social skills. He actually think that he can shut himself off from building relationships with people, period, and then he can be in a functional relationship because like but he spent a bunch of time by himself. That's a recipe for disaster because you don't know how to manage conflict. You don't know how to socialize with people. And when you spend all that time by yourself, you start feeling like, well, you get set in your ways. It should go like this. He can't be in a functional relationship. So usually men like that will love bomb the fuck out of a woman in the beginning. And then make that transition back to being that this man who lives in fucking isolation, but I want to have access to her when I have time for it. Like he's gonna try to break a woman. The guy who came up here doing the poetry and shit, like he's another problem with these men who think that it's this people period online who think that it's a one definite rule or the certain traits that apply to everybody in every relationship is fucking weird. Like people are way more diverse than that. The identities are different. The relationships are different. Some people are in open relationships. Some people are same-sex relationships. Some people are in like swinger relationships. Some people like it's so many dynamics of what relationships look like, and it's like, oh, it has to be this certain type of way. And then when challenged on it, he wanted to lie because like I was talking about myself. I wasn't, but I was. He couldn't deal with the fact that he was wrong. Again, a narcissistic trait. And this last dude who was just up here when they assert dominance. That's trying to assert dominance on a panel is a telltale sign of a deep-seated insecurity. And you claiming things like, oh, you love women and all this stuff, but reality is like you don't like women. You don't like yourself. And I'm going to try to school this dude because it makes me feel like I'm authority, like I have the power here. That's somebody who feels small on the inside. And for their selfish reasons, for their own selfish, fucked up reasons, now they want to destroy another person because it helps them solidify who they feel like in the inside. That shit is fucking crazy.
Because a lot of these men are sexually and physically attracted to women, but they do not like women as people.
They just, girl, men, I ain't mean to call you girl, I'm sorry. But
No,
yesterday, we just determined that men just like hoes. It don't even have to be a warm one. Somebody had a rock.
It don't gotta be a warm one. It doesn't even have to be human. Shit, it don't even gotta be alive.
Yeah, so we can't even, like, I was giving them that they at least like the sexually, but they don't like that either.
My question is for Slick. What do you think about the advice TD was giving you?
Personally, it's online stuff. I don't listen to what niggas say to me online. If I like know you, if you're a close relative, you trying to give me advice, I'll listen to it. But no,
But that's the thing. Even somebody who's a close relative, right? Because the men online, a lot of times, like they the same people who are your relatives. Like, let's be for real. So how do you distinguish the difference? My question is, how do you distinguish the difference between somebody who's actually giving you genuine advice and somebody who's trying to like give you advice for their own selfish reasons? How do you determine it?
because I know them. They're married for 20 plus years, and I know them for a long time.
So is your goal to get married for a long time? Like, do you value quantity over quality?
Like, what do you mean by quantity or quality?
Because you're like, oh, they've been in marriages for a long time. Just because somebody's been in a marriage for a long time doesn't mean it's a happy and healthy relationship.
I'd say it's happy because they still together.
Yeah, that's not an indicator that it's a happy marriage just because they're still together. Motherfuckers stay in marriages even though the man has cheated 80 million damn times. Still stay in marriages when they no longer love each other or like each other. Stay in marriages even when there's abuse going on. So just because they've been together for X amount of years doesn't necessarily mean happy marriage.
I want to say something in regards to the prompt.
Yeah, you can wait. You can't colonize over here, buddy. You can wait. Were you done, maybe?
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Okay. Slick, you said that you don't know that guy. That you only listen to men that you know in public, right? You do know that man is hiding behind a screen. You don't know who he is. He's somebody's uncle, though. He's somebody's dad. He's somebody's God. He might be even somebody's husband. Like, these men exist in real life. I don't know why y'all think that when we come on the internet that people just turn to robots. These are thoughts that people can't say out loud, but they definitely feel them.
Yeah, I'm not listening to what a random person says to me.
Okay. Well, let's see what we'll come back to you.
Okay. Oh, hold on. What's up, TD?
Oh, I forgot about TD. I'm sorry, Bookie.
Hey, y'all. First of all, Coconut, I don't know why.
Hold on. Somebody losing their shit. You guys, does TD, like, is that initials or mean something?
No, I don't know. There's a lot of accounts with my initials, like with the similar initials. I'm wondering why I'm catching astray. But I was going to say about the prompt, men want when they refer to women as when they refer to us as marriage material, they want domesticated slaves. That's what they want. Whenever a man says that, they want slaves. They want a housemaid. They want someone to clean up after them.
Not true.
So whenever, okay, I'm not talking to you. I'm not done. Shut up. When they say that, they want a domesticated house slave. They don't want anything else, and that's a red flag.
Okay, my name. We're gonna give you 1 minute on the clock. State your business.
All right. What do men mean when they refer to women as wife material? I personally, or give my example. I mean a girl who are very family oriented, a girl who don't smoke, a girl who don't drink, a girl who don't go to parties every weekend.
Look at God.
Somebody mute me.
No, your internet cut out.
Yeah, I mean a girl who don't go to party every weekend, a girl that doesn't have a high body count. I don't mean a domestic slave. I want a person with her own values, with her own,
Oh my God, I love the ancestors.
why I'm being mute? Why? This is not fair.
You're not being muted. You have shitty connection. Look at the ancestors. Gotta love them.
Okay, let's see. He's back now.
If you can't answer the question, don't request it. It's a simple question. Are you talking about women?
Yes.
Okay, say women then.
What?
Girls are children, sir.
Yeah, all right, woman, okay, woman. I mean a woman that doesn't drink, that doesn't smoke, that don't go to party every weekend, that don't have a high body count. She don't have a chat on IG with full of male. And this, I mean a wife material. When we say wife material, we mean a good wife. A good wife doesn't have to be a slave. I can cook for myself. I can clean for myself. Those gender rules, we know those things made up by retarded people. Like back in the
No, you can't
50s.
say that. You can't say that. You gotta go.
The ableism came out strong with that one.
I just want to know, like, this is the question for men, right? So, are we supposed to be getting tattoos of teardrops in between our thighs every time we catch a body? Like, what are we supposed to be doing so y'all know that we're wife material?
I don't know why I gasped. I shouldn't have been surprised.
It's a lot of times it's a stereotype though. Like the whole IG thing. Like how many women are actually on IG with the accounts they claiming, and there are many women who are on IG with many followers who are married, who are in relationships.
A lot of them would say that, like, we're just going to use George as a case study.
No, we're not.
Because I do hear a lot of men saying this.
We're not talking about George. No, the fuck, we not about to send a George, ma'am.
Okay, not George, right? Wanting women to shut up and just be mute. Okay, Slick, you the only man here, so. So
Yeah.
what is it that your family is teaching you about women, like the men directly? What are they telling you?
Yeah, because
What
you
they
said what they
say?
telling you not to do. So what type of woman are they telling you should pursue?
Because I come from like a Christian household, they be like, you
Are
should
you
like,
Christian?
yeah, I go to church and stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
So they be like, you should just wait, find the right one, you know, make sure she like all God fearing and stuff, and then
So find a
you
woman
know,
in church.
yeah, that's basically.
So is that your only criteria for yourself?
No, she don't have to be like, she don't have to be like in church, but
But you do
if
know,
she
like
does,
you do know like less women are in the church though, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing about taking advice from like your family, like I get it, but your family, a lot of times the old people in your family come from a different generation. So more and more women are leaving the church. So, but if that's what you're looking for, fine. Um, but I think it's interesting when like I don't know, like I hear stuff that like my parents said about relationships, but I'm living my own life and I'm gonna make the decision for myself.
Yeah, I know.
That's how
Cause
relationships should
even
be. It shouldn't
cause
be what your family say. I personally, that's what
yeah,
I think.
cause even in the church, like the some of the relationships be messy in there. So
And no, a lot of the
uh,
relationships be messy now.
Slick,
yeah.
I want to know because a lot of men say this. Y'all don't be stepping foot into a church. Where do y'all expect to meet all these Christian women?
Well, I don't know about any other churches. I'm a Jehovah Witness, so you know.
Because y'all be looking for church girls on IG. That's when I forgot who was just saying that they be comparing regular women to IG women. Because like most men don't step foot in the church, but they want a Christian woman. That's weird to
Yeah,
me.
that's hypocritical. But like, if a guy's going to church and he's like doing that, props to him, you know. So
So
All
you
right.
still got your V
Oh
card.
no, hold on, Sage. I'm over it. I'm over it, y'all.
Good night,
I don't feel
y'all.
no. At the end of the day, like these men don't know what the fuck they want. They don't know what the fuck they want. They be lost. Go ahead, Slick. That man trying to recruit you. Go find him. What you saying, Sage?
No, I was just making a joke about him still having his V card because these men be hunching up everything, but then wanting a woman to be a freaky V, and that's weird too.
And see, it goes back to the original point that I made is that they just repeat what they hear other men say, and especially with Slick being like, "Oh well, I'm not gonna listen to dudes on the internet. I'm gonna listen to male family members that are close to me." They be the main ones giving y'all bad advice because they have unrestricted access to you.
They the
And
same niggas on the internet.
but I also hate this argument that people try to put up, but especially men in conversations like this, where they're like, "Oh no, it's just the internet. It's not that serious." Two truths can exist at once. Yes, this is just the internet, but also the behaviors and ideologies that y'all are learning on the internet, y'all are trying to apply them in real life, which is why we're seeing the societal issues that we're seeing. So it's not all just on the internet. Y'all are taking shit that you saw from fucking Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate and trying to make that a reality.
Did he just get locked up again?
Yep,
I don't know.
yep. He's in London. He's in a London jail right now
Damn,
Yeah, I
he
think
in
he got
London.
10 charges, and if his brother or the other dude got 11 charges.
for
Damn,
aggravated.
Romania said they can't get him, so London was going to try next.
No, London said, "Yes, ma'am. We gonna get you or something." London don't play that.
Those be
London
the
said, "We
men.
from around the way. We leaving
Those
Right.
here
be the
with
men who
something."
be talking about single moms.
Like I said, the Miss London said, "I am not the one, two, or the three. You will go to jail."
It is funny as hell because everything that men say, like women don't even have to emasculate men. They don't even have to say anything negative about men because if you let the men folk talk long enough, they'll do it themselves. They'll have all this smoke.
Demasculated is so weird because I never hear women say you effeminizing me or some shit like that. Like that shit is so weird when they
I'm gonna
say that.
start saying it though.
You defeminizing me. But fucking like for instance, the whole single mom thing, they'll have all this smoke for single moms and say that single moms are the reason, specifically within the black community, that single moms are the reason that these young black boys are growing up to be criminals and just all around terrible people and be like, oh well if a father was in the home, so you agree. The main issue was because the man decided to leave and not raise those kids.
That's not even the issue. They're conflating like correlation with causation, right? Because the same things, I always tell people the same things happen within the suburbs. The rate that they happen is different, right? But their kids are on smugs. They're like they have high DV rates. They're beefing with their neighbors. Somebody even unalived each other. It'd be the same thing because we're in proximity of each other. It's just that if their kids get on, smugs, they pay for rehab. They keep it silent. But it's the same thing that's literally happening everywhere. It's just at the rate.
And
Right.
and
And
it's
also,
probably even
oh, you go.
No, go ahead.
And that's what I was also going to say. It's like another thing when it comes to these topics, especially when they start leading into um, black spaces and try to devolve in black men versus black women or diaspora wars or whatever, where it's like, oh, like you'll hear bird brained ass men and women try to say, oh, well, look at other people, look at the other races, cultures. They don't have issues. They don't. Yes, the fuck they do. They're just not as loud about it. And a lot of them would rather turn the other cheek, would rather turn a blind eye than actually address the root causes of why their cultures and their societies are so fucked up.
Yeah, white supremacy is going to always make white people appear to be doing better than us. Like, we can watch it in real time and see. We know that most serial unalivers are white men. We know that the most violent person in the country is white. We know all of this, but it's just white supremacy that keeps us with rose-colored glasses on, and then anti-blackness that makes us look down on ourselves. Like, they're doing the thing in real time that shows that they're not good people, and we still compare them to us,
Well,
which
didn't
is
they?
weird.
I'm sorry, but didn't they? They want to act like they're so pristine and perfect. Didn't they literally eat us and cause the mummies in Egypt to be like rare?
Yes.
Ma'am, be
The
for
fact that
real.
they ate them mummies is crazy.
They did.
No, that's actually a factual truth because when the British were going over there and doing what they do best, which is fucking shit up, they were taking mummies not just to put them in the British Museum on display, but also were eating them. And there's also a reason as to why we don't see many female mummies because they were also they were also having sex with the unalive bodies of those female mummies and causing their what is the fucking word? Decomposition to go faster.
Hence why Cleopatra said a male will never find my grave.
Yeah, men are weird.
But also they were when they was having all those lynch parties, they were eating them people down.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I got into it with some YT men over anti-black thing, and of course they defended their racism with racism. But I asked them if they used to season people before they ate them. I really wanted to know, because if you ain't seasoning chicken, are you seasoning people?
No, they don't season shit. But y'all, I'm
That's
about
why.
to end this live, y'all. I'm coming down.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say one last thing. Is that's why the whole British people flipping out over the fact that Keith Lee didn't like that hard ass beans on a toast was funny because y'all spent all that time fucking up everybody else's shit, quote unquote, looking for spices just to not use them shits, and then try to gaslight everybody into thinking cardboard food tastes better than sweetened food.
That beans and toast is crazy. That is nasty work. Diabolical.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming up. I'm about to take a break.
No problem.
All right.